Happy strategy and planning to you in thinking about the coming year and just like meeting and exceeding your goals. I wanted to share with you a cool framework that I like to use for strategy and planning. Because sometimes, I don't know, sometimes it's easy to put the cart before the horse with figuring out the tactics without sort of knowing the why, doing the what without knowing the why are we doing it. And so this is a kind of system that I use here where we talk about the goals, figure out strategic initiatives, think about who our perfect customers are, get into maybe some themes, and then get into the tactics and the what. And so, in looking at this, uh, what are your main goals for the coming year? Maybe you want to launch a new product or service to your existing customers, your existing market, or maybe you want to take a successful product and take it to a new market. Maybe growth is your plan. Who doesn't want growth? All right. So that those are potential things that you might choose. And then just choose the top sort of two or three, and then we'll go through the next steps on this. So once you know what those goals are, then you can move them over to this tab and think about what strategic initiatives you might put in place, what goals you might put in place to go along with these overarching goals for your company, for your business. So, for example, on that, launching a new product to an existing market, you might say, hey, we're gonna work on our message. So it's absolutely identifying that problem and solution for our ideal client, our ideal customer. And then maybe around the launching an existing product to a new market. Hey, we want to be known in that industry as the expert on this particular thing. And we're going to start the strategic initiative that shows our expertise on this topic. So that's looking at your goals around that, right? Your strategic initiatives and goals. And for growth, maybe you're, hey, we're going to do an initiative around this particular trade show, this particular event, maybe NAB or whatever it is, because we feel like that show is a good lead gen for us. So you can have, more than one initiative per goal, but you could do this. This is perfect, right? Then it's a great idea to think about who our perfect customers are, right? Who are we selling to? Who are the people that we want to reach? That we've got the perfect, solution to what keeps them awake in the middle of the night? What are they bugged about? What do they need help with when we're being of service? How are we helping them? Who are those people? So here's a little example, and yours might look different to this. Yours probably does look different to this. But thinking about our perfect customers, you can think about the 80% of your customers. You don't need to worry about those outliers, those odd ones. They'll take care of themselves. Think about within the 80% of where your money comes from, where your revenue comes from. Who are those people? And so maybe you've got three or four persona types. If you get into more than that, it gets kind of crazy. So try to narrow it to three or four for starters. You need to do more later, totally fine. But keeping it to that, thinking about your 80-20 rule a little bit, right? I always think about that 80-20 rule, like the kind of other way when you think about reps and dealers and systems integrators. A lot of times, salespeople, we see that sort of 20% of the reps and dealers are bringing 80% of the revenue to the company for that particular type of sales channel. And so, if that's definitely the kind of person that you want to have in this persona list as well. So for example, your one of your personas might be end users, customers, clients, and maybe it's the business folks, the CEOs, the general managers, the CFOs, and thinking about what they need, what they care about. And I've got a bunch of questions and things to think about down here. So when you think about each persona type, you can just sort of know why they care about you, what you're solving for them, what their job titles are, that kind of thing. And thinking about maybe persona number two could also be your end users, your customers, your clients, but maybe they're a technical person. right? And so, depending on your type of biz, they could be the chief technical officer, the director of engineering, the operator, or whatever type of sort of end user customer that you have. You may have a couple different types of people in that end user customer position, and they care about different things. There's different things that are important to them. And that's got to get reflected either in individual marketing for them or in your marketing. Be sure to think about, hey, if the general manager is reading this, does it address their pain points? If the director of engineering is reading this, does it deal with their pain points, right? And if a rep or dealer that I work with who's selling my stuff reads this, does it also address it, or do we need some separate marketing for them? So for a rep or a dealer, um, think about the salesperson, the CFO at that company, and what do they care about? Because it's going to be slightly different to what our first two personas care about. You can give these folks names if you want to. I'd love to do that. You can give them a real name of a real person that you work with, because sometimes that helps you remember who it is, or you can give them a name that just is representative of that type of person. And so instead of persona one, two, and three, you can put a real name in there. And also maybe you work with systems integrators and those folks are technical and you want to talk to the designer and know what they need, and it's going to be a little bit different to what the rep or dealer needs. So there's just an example of four right there. If you're thinking about, oh, I don't know how to come up with those personas, you can think about the top customer lifetime value of your customers. So think about, I don't know, your top 10 customers, your top 100 customers, and look at those and where the money's coming in from or where you want it to come in from. And that's how you're going to come up with your three or four personas. Make sense? Cool? Like it? It's a good way to do it. You can do this, grab a cup of coffee, grab tea, and just run through this. You can do it solo, you can do it with a friend. It works great. All right, let's go on to the next bit right here then. Quarterly themes. I learned about this from someone and I think it's brilliant. Have a quarterly theme in place. So maybe for one quarter, you've got a particular technology or topic that you want to discuss, and a different one for Q2. And maybe for Q3, you're going to hit new technologies. Maybe Q4 is success stories, like whatever grabs you. Nice to have those four in place. Now, granted, you may show up in an event or show or something's coming up that doesn't fit in that theme. It's okay. But at least you've got the sweet framework. So you can think about throughout the year, maybe you want to do articles or thought pieces or whatever your tactics are going to be. They can point at these particular topics. It's lovely to have this framework in place. Then, now that we've got all those things sorted, thinking about your marketing tactics. So here's just a sample list of tactics that you could put into place that would support your strategic initiatives, your goals, right? Your quarterly themes too. And so in the marketing tactics, so for example, maybe you want to do a series of short videos. I just got off a call actually with somebody who's like, hey, love what's going on with LinkedIn. Can you help us with some YouTube shorts? And we think we want a TikTok channel. Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to put that together. And that short video series, in this case, totally fits in with this objective, the strategic initiative of them wanting to be known as an industry expert on a particular topic. And so that works great for that. So as you go through these, you can go in and put in your quarterly theme or strategic initiative from one of these other two tabs so that okay, what tactics are going with what initiatives or themes, right? So we know we've had this initiative back here that we want growth. And so as growth, they want to have this company wants to use it as lead gen. So you're gonna, be able to put that back in here. Trade show, we're using it for lead gen and growth, right? You can have that in there. And then tie everything together. So you might have email campaigns on certain things. You could put white papers together, guides on particular topics, success stories, um, maybe do an SMS campaign that you can do. Webinars are a great way to get the word out, and all of these you can tie into your themes, your initiatives, everything like that. All right, so what do you think? I hope you love this framework and just grab it for yourself. Text the word strategy to me at 1-530-203-5703, and you'll get a response back asking for your email address, and then it's going to automatically send you the link to this so you can use it for yourself, customize it, enjoy. And here's to a fabulous year. And if you ever want to talk about the next, one or two tactics to do in order to take that next strategy or goal to the next level. I love doing that. That is like super fun for me. So jump on a call with me, just hit me up and we can do a 10 or 15-minute call and talk about that. That is like my idea of fun. Okay, have a beautiful day. Talk soon.